And welcome back to the second series of the night. My name is Orbital. We have some brand new casters. My name is Orbital. Once again, I'm joined here by Vincent. We will be bringing you games 1, 2, and possibly 3 of the night between FGCU, Florida Gulf Coast University, and Johnson and Wales 1. Both teams going fairly even in their placement matches, but yeah, hopefully a good series. Vincent, how you doing?
Man, I'm doing good. That last game, if that's any way to start the night, I think we're in for a fun evening of Valorant. Already a 3 mapper and Jag and Septimus bringing you guys through that one. Hopefully we can bring the hype just like they did, and hopefully we're going to be seeing some nice Valorant. We are starting here on Ascent as our first map. I want to quick move through kind of what the pick ban phase looked like. Just 5 maps here in Valorant, and we were seeing first of all Ascent picked by by Florida Gulf Coast, I believe, and then the side rather no Johnson and Wales picking Ascent, the defense or attack rather for Florida Gulf Coast, then bind banned out by Johnson and Wales, and then the pick for Florida Gulf Coast is Haven, and interesting that we're going Haven. Icebox then banned out from Florida, and we are ending on split. Should we need to get there? So a fun map pool, at least in my book, the classics, you could say, as I like to deem them. A lot of fun. No bind, but whatever. Who cares about bind? What it's fine.
I hear a little pain in your voice, and all I can think of is someone that doesn't get to play with like their favorite toy until the very end, and you might not even get to. You're just like, oh, I wanted to see this one.
Listen, I thought I had my emotions in check. Clearly, I didn't, and you fully read my mind. How's that happened?
Well, it's okay. Don't worry. There will be some slip ups of me, of course. So as we go along, have fun and enjoy this lovely broadcast. As again, thank you so much to all the viewers that were bringing the hype. We already in the first broadcast, first series of the evening, hit over 100 viewers. So I just want to say very, very special thank you as we are doing week 1 here of Valorant here at NECC. We'll be getting underway once again. I believe FGCU are on. I think you said the attacking side. No.
Oh
I
well,
believe so. Sorry.
yeah.
I'm trying to double check everything. My brain is not in the right spot after that last series. Watching that was very entertaining.
Oopsies.
It certainly was, and yes, I believe on the attack first, FGCU here on Ascent. The pick was Johnson and Wales, and so they get to go on the defense first. And honestly, it's kind of a question mark for me. Like this map can kind of go either way. So I don't even feel like like maybe it edges defensively more often than not. But
Mm.
hey, who knows where we're moving? And actually, I think we've just had a map change, so I'm not actually sure if we're going to a sit anymore. But nonetheless, whilst we get things sorted out, let me just introduce the names of our players on the team. So on the Florida Gulf Coast side, we've got SFC Nightmare, Hellboy, Mountain, Triple R, and Josh R. Johnson and Wales, on the other hand, who were 0-2, by the way, in the preseason and the placements. Cha, Bake Show, King, Cookie, and our Mooch. Yeah, Cookie and Bake Show. I'm loving it. Those guys, teaming up to create a delicious treat, maybe.
Gotta go with the puns. Just right out the gate, we are
Yep.
going on these puns, and I love it. Again, though, coming in here to Haven, it has been decided that Haven will be the first map, of course. So, talk to me a little bit, as again, these teams have not specifically played against each other just yet, so they're still possibly feeling each other out. But obviously, the meta is very slightly set. What are some of the agents that you assume we will be seeing, and some of the strategies that might be employed here on the Haven map?
Yeah, well, of course, 3 sites, the main thing to look at Haven. You really have to decide on the defense what you do, where you hold, because that's the key. Rotation's very much in control of how you can defend here effectively. So the attacker is very much favored, especially if you can effectively throw those fakes in. And so with regard to those agent picks, I mean, right now we're seeing pretty standard stuff. At least here for Johnson and Wales, we've got Cypher, Jet, Omen, Sova,
Choose
and
your agent.
Phoenix. All very meta, meta-like compositions, things that you would expect to see. Though I will say, at times Brimstone here on Haven in particular can be very strong. So be on the lookout maybe for that Brimstone pick necessarily. I don't see Mountain. Okay, Mountain has locked in now on the Omen, so we're actually seeing a full mirror. The mirror composition incoming.
This is this is just straight up. Listen, one side's better than the other. We're sorry when they match up here. So look to see a little bit of maybe trash talking. I don't think we'll see that on the actual screen, of course, but I'm sure the players will enjoy the idea that this is going to be a straight testament to your skills, right? Everyone has pretty much the same abilities that they'll be using, possibly the same loadouts and weapons. So coming out here, 30 seconds, and already we're seeing some posturing. Very nice defensive spread, but a very slight stack with the lurker coming out on the attacker side.
And interesting on the defense in particular for Johnson and Wales, they are leaning on the frenzies. 5 of them pulled out and ready and raring to go here on the defense. I mean, listen, the frenzies are really strong right now, so it's not at all surprising for me to see that is where they're going with that.
3 seconds left as we are built up. And already the first attempt at spotting out some information. Recon Bolt destroyed pretty much off of that set.
That's a fast take over towards C. Trying to get in and move quickly as the site fully taken. The site going down, but through the smoke comes Zarek. That is a solid shot, and it positions the defense for a solid retake. 4 on 3.
4 on 3 indeed. A little bit of a recon once against Zarek. Attempting his best to get information for his team. A little peek around the corner, and that is going to be it. Mountain, snap of 1, losing his life. But again, Mandark now getting revealed a bit. A little bit of a pinch coming out here.
Last player standing.
And that flank, it was just, it needed to be missed, I think so, but the grades are just too strong. Hellboy picking up both frags in the end, both players down on low HP as they move forward. So that's the first round, solidly within the grasp of FGCU Florida, opening things up strong. And so we're seeing a force buy though, Orbital. This is where things get interesting because it stingers pretty much across the board with 2 Spectres. The sole difference here, Josh and Mountain picking those up.
Yeah, just disgusting buys coming out here, and maybe a little bit of dirtiness, a little bit of griminess, but Fate deciding that he wants to try and snap a couple kills, of course, and this time an A side push. We'll see if they rush or hold.
Well, that rush incoming. Swindle with the first frag there for the defense on the site, and the push is coming through, but it's slow going, and Mountain together return frag. So 4 on 4, all things considered, is now the defense has to stand strong. Another couple of kills in the way of the defense. Everybody trying to make plays through the edges of these smokes, but they're just not working out all that effectively. Nova left in an impossible 1 on 4, but he seems to know where the second player is and the third, but not good enough for the shots to connect. And so that's 1-1 to tie our scoreline up.
Nightmare almost going Freddy Cougar. Tag 2 before he drops. So, of course, that does force another buy. But again, we're starting to see a little bit of how the attackers want to play this. The full rush didn't work as well as they wanted, but they know it could. You know, if the aim was a little bit better, they're able to snap a couple of those kills a little bit faster. Maybe A side is not the one you want to rush off the gate.
Maybe not. That being said, it is going to be, they're giving over the economic game or the offense. They just don't force buy it. Only a couple of pistols left in, so we'll see if they can really convert those pistols into much of anything into this round.
Very quiet. Hold off of the middle of B. They don't want to make too much noise. I'm pretty sure they're already notified though. Still trying to bait their time. Minute left to get it in and get in position.
That's a great opener, but it's followed up by a couple of frags. those pistols doing work in the close
One
range
enemy
of the B
remaining.
site. Mountain recovering an SMG, able to pick up a third for the round. It's now left to Swindle in a 1-on-2, a difficult spot, but look at the low HP here, at least on the Omen. That is going to make things difficult for Mountain, who has recovered a full rifle.
Full rifle indeed, as a snap up. Mountain is going to be following his buddy. They did plant the spike already out on the backside of C. This is going to be Swindle making his way very slowly. Doesn't want to be caught on his back. However, Triple Mountain set up very well to get in if they start hearing that defuse go off.
No charges left.
And the range is an issue right here. He's just got the stinger, and I mean, at the long range that he's going to have to try and deal with, it's just not ideal.
Ooh, very nice pin by them, and Triple able to pick that one up. Attackers now up 2. Looks like Johnson and Wales off to a somewhat okay start here.
I mean, yeah, getting that one buyback for Johnson and Wales certainly solid, but FGCU in prime position now to convert effectively because they saved there. Orbital, they didn't buy in, they just had pistols, and so they were buying this round regardless of the outcome, and they actually won that round. So really impressive for them to come away victorious, and in fact now they're looking to move towards C, utilize their long range abilities to shut down the defense before this even gets started.
So if A doesn't work and B doesn't work, your next option is C. And that looks to be what they want to do. Actually, a full with a lurker on the back end. They're pushing into the C site. Lots of smokes going down. And nice couple picks back and forth. Blood on everyone's side. As Mandark is able to pick up one. And it's down now. 2-on-3. Very nice tag with a little bit of a shocky bolt there.
The shock darts really looking to deny a plant. That plant wasn't incoming. Running back, thrown in for Mandark, and Triple R can't connect on the frag. Mandark now coming back after the run it back was shipped away. Josh left in a hard, nigh impossible situation where it's a thrifty back and forth directions. 2-2 now.
I mean, Vincent, you said you wanted something along the lines of the first series that we saw on the night. Something close and back and forth, and, you know, we might be getting it here. 2-2 so far, and if this continues, I mean, we might not be able to call it until the very end, and you love having that kind of pressure in a series.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, whenever it's spicy, that's what I always say. You like to get the spice out, you know, sprinkle in maybe some oregano in there, you know, throw it in there. But you know, here we go. It's another force buy for the offense as they have just kept enough money to the bank to buy next round regardless. But we've seen what they can do with just pistols. So these stingers, they give me some confidence.
Trading once again, and the hold pattern seems to be what Johnson and Wales wants to do. They're realizing a hard rush is not going to be up their options, so they're waiting. But Mandark, the man, no rebirth this time, but is able to pick up 2. Now down to a 3-on-2. Spike is being planted, but Mountain is sitting on a little bit of red health.
He has to teleport the ultimate here for the Omen online, but the question is, where would you use it? Gets into that dark cover, and oh, shot through the smoke. Swindle, no problem, heard the information and got off of that. Now it's just Cypher, and Cypher has been dispatched. Make show with that frag onto Hellboy, and a very solid round, and now things have stabilized Orbital. That was the first time we've seen if anybody get 2 rounds in a row, and it's round number 5.
No stability is what they're saying here. Well, maybe a little bit, but yeah, at this rate, I assume we're going to have Johnson and Wales just, no, we can't let them do this. We can't let them get 3 in a row. So we'll have to wait and see. Again, Zarek coming out here, and we've been watching him. He's been able to tag at least 1 or 2 every time with this recon bolt, and he's done very well getting some information for his team. But again, trying his best to ensure that the defenders have that foresight to get moving.
Yeah, we do see 3 ultimates ready to go here for the offense. run it back available, as well as the Hunter's Fury and the teleport. So maybe look out for those. That run it back can, of course, be very, very useful in gathering some information and or opening up a site control. It looks like the offense moving towards the A site for the time being as they ready up for a take. 2 players here on the defense.
And once again, a little dance coming out. Triple deciding it's not needed, but that's a very nice little wave trying to get them to move about as much as possible. That's going to call in the force, but A-site overrun by Johnson and Wales. JWU have got to start moving, but they can't make it in. They're forced out. No deaths yet, but the pressure mounted just a little bit too quickly.
That paranoia, though, strong against 2 players on the side, but it doesn't count out Hellboy. It's now the trades coming through. Zerk with 2, Nightmare and Triple R with 2 of their own. Now it's 3-on-2. Swindle and company needs to get into this site. That spike is starting to tick away as they move in. Now Swindle moving forward, low HP. Now with the Cypher of Bake Show. 3 players very spread out, and that low HP for Triple R is not very good. Swindle taken down, and that is the round. 3-3. We're tied back up, Orbital.
That's how it's going to be the whole time. They just, listen, no team is going to be better than the others. We have to make it as close as possible, and I love it. Again, both these squads, as always, are mirror matched up, so this is almost the expected outcome, right? Weapons are fairly even as well. We see the full buys coming out of both teams, so they are looking. However, Nightmare sitting on a little bit less in the bank than his teammates.
Well, and the last round was the first real gun round we've seen all day, and this is the second. And while Triple R picking up that frag, making it look easy on him.
Oh, how bad does that feel? You get snapped right in the stomach or head, whichever one that was, of course. But well-timed shots nonetheless are starting to swing forward. Again, Triple R saying he is done with this tie. He wants to start pushing forward. With the spikes down, you see the hesitation. FGCU, they know that this is probably not going to be an easy defense, but Fate says otherwise.
I mean, Fate is prepared, and now Paranoia coming through on the Hellboy. Has to try and defend the site. The dark cover in the bay, though. Nobody really committing as Bake Show tries to swing. Hellboy not quite having the weaponry out, with the shock darts very much there, and followed up by the Hunter's Fury from Nightmare. Makes things all the more easy. Don't even need to see the spike to get those frags.
Yeah, and these spike plants are... It's the basics, right? These are very basic planting options that you can go for. You know, out in the open, hide around the side, and just ensure that you can always spot it. You don't have to kill your opponent. You force them into that do or die situation. Johnson and Wales playing it slow and playing it very, very smart here.
Yeah, I mean, well, not even able to pick that up. I mean, the defense of Johnson and Wales faltering just a little bit, right? They started to struggle, and on top of that, now their economy is in the drains, in the gutters. They don't have any cash. You gotta say something.
They're dancing with just 2 pistols, an SMG, and a sniper. So, yeah, definitely hard on the eco, but they might make it work. Swindle grabs one, sleeping down through that mid halls. And not the bomb, not the spike carrier though. So at least they had that on their side. Triple R gets some revenge for his teammate.
Oh man, Swindle just got a little bit too aggressive there. Wanted a bit more than was really plausible. And so look at the rotations coming through. All 4 players for the offense moving towards A, and it looks like a pretty good read as everybody else is going that direction as well. But there's no one on the site to defend from this player.
Going to defend in a quick rotation. FGCU, they seem to have some communication problems here. Yes, they want to go in. Yes, they do not want to go in. And I mean, You got to make a decision. You can't be waiting this long before you get to that spike, and they're pushing. 2 members sitting on the backside. They're rotating fairly well. Actually, the smoke goes down in the backside, but that's going to be a quick 2-for-1 trade. Health bars, though, in favor of neither side. Mountain decides that Mandark, a little bit too much to worry about. He says you can't get to the spike either. Simply fought. Johnson and Wales take a 2nd round in a row.
Yeah, I mean, a solid position to say the least, especially as we move forward. I mean, now granted, that was against an eco round, so nothing really to write home about into that one. But here's where things start to heat up. We're into what will be our 3rd real gun round of the game, and we're gonna see the guns come out. Josh shaping up over towards C long to pill out this operator. He looks like it's gonna be a battle, as there is fate to maybe try and take this duel.
Yeah, and I apologize to all the viewers that were listening to me, of course. I have been corrected. FGCU on that attacking side. So they are so far in the lead with 2 rounds up. And so far, I'm surprised they are opting for a little bit slower pace now in these last few rounds. I know alternating pacing seems to be the best option. You know, make sure to keep your opponents on their toes. But so far, after those first 2 rounds, the rushes has started to find their tempo, has started to find their initiatives. As Bake Show says, no, I'm going to prove you wrong, Caster.
Oh yeah, no, the classic caster curse coming through as we do see. But yeah, that's a good opening frag. It solidifies the positioning of the defense. It makes it so much more difficult for them to really do anything here on the attack. But it looks like B is going to be the site that it will eventually come through. So looking to take a duel, and that duel gets canceled out as he speaks in, finds 2 players looking at him, and then falls back away. Swindle now with the re-aggression, picks up one. Derek as well with another one, and Mandark to pick up the flurry of frags here for the defense. Now it's just Nightmare with the shot card trying to pick something up, but he has dropped it all. And that is going to be another round on the board. It's 4-5. As it is FGCU still up 1, but that distance has been closed.
Not just that, they survived with 4 members alive. I think for the last, for pretty much all these rounds, it's pretty much been a 1 to 2 member alive at the end of the day. So to actually see 4 after that battle means that they're starting to maybe find their rhythm as well, able to start, you know, closing and pinching in as they need to. Because again, building up eco is going to be very important if they start losing some of those latter rounds. This is definitely going to come down to the wire, where you're both sitting at 10 and 11 or so, and you want to start trying to finish off those next few rounds of this first half.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, winding down the last couple of rounds of the half is where we're at right now, just a couple left. And so with that, it's kind of a slow, methodical play right now towards the C site for the offense. They're looking to try and execute. There's now a 2nd player running over. Actually, that Sova has the Hunter's Fury online. As now they move on to site, and they can pick up the Hunter's Fury.
Oh. Zarek gets snapped a little bit on the shoulder, and RHS says time to plant that spike once again.
Spike planted.
What a great couple of frags there from Josh. I really love that.
Yeah, and once again, just the simple rush. It's crazy, you know. We were wondering if it was working before, and now it's just like they found the rhythm. They found the ways to just snap up 2, 3, and then back right out. And this one, I actually feel they might have to give on the defensive side. They're going to attempt to, but again, 2 members against 5. What can you really do here? Well, apparently chase down a couple kills.
You can die. I mean, there's that too. Unfortunately, I think that's probably all Mandark's doing. Last no. Oh, man. It doesn't matter. Is that the reverse caster curse? I don't know.
It's the caster curse going, I don't really feel like playing today. I'll go the 3rd route, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez.
Exactly what I was saying. Only depth really there for the offense trying to get back into that site. And with that, I mean, it's back to the drawing board. Not a lot of cash, but enough to maybe get a couple of weapons out here. But Johnson and Wales struggling a little bit here against those fast, aggressive plays that FGCU is throwing at them.
Yeah, and again, if you want to have a chance to even it up, this is the time, right? 4 ultimates out on the side of Johnson and Wales, and I mean, you might want to save 2, but at least start dropping. You need to start getting yourself in there. Yeah, there it is. Huge shot straight through. Zarek actually picks one up with that ulti through the walls, and Fate, everyone getting picked and clean. But Hellboy definitely has something to say about it. Spike carrier has been killed as it's now in a 1v2 situation.
Oh, but look, the flank. Mandark is aware of it, and it's hitting the frag. Gets the return for last round after Hellboy won that one out the last go. And we're into the last round before the half is over. There's 8 ultimates available for both sides here. All 5 for FGCU, 3 of them for Johnson and Wales. I'm curious to see what they'll do in order to try and open up some sites with these ultimates.
I mean, you would assume so. If you don't,
you would hope.
You're not throwing caution to the wind. Oh, man. Even game all the way up. Again, last round before swap, and they're taking it nice and slow. Moving towards that C through both the lanes, both hallways, I should say. Sorry, wrong game. But a little bit of shade going down, and a little spray through tags them. It's triple. Much needed info from that ult.
Yeah, that's devastating. Fate just puts shots in a grave. Says absolutely not. I'll take that headshot and move along. Nicely done. So it's 3 on 5, and it looks like everybody's moving towards A because they got shut down at C.
There you go. Ulti popped right there. As that is a little bit of a swap corner. This is the MO. They need to get it in, though. That is going to be Johnson and Wales having to respond, and they do. They trade 1 for 1, but still, that's only 1 left on the attacking side, and I think this is their round to take.
Where was that going? I don't know what the Hunter's Fury was. Okay, I'm hearing from our producer that it was going for the Phoenix body, which is actually really intelligent. The only problem is the spike was getting defused, and unfortunately the spike is a little bit more important. Either way, we are 6-6, and you said it, Orbital. All the way, we're going tied up. Let's get it, baby. We are swapping sides, and it is continuing.
You know, I was hoping to glean some information, you know, where are the strong points of both these squads? Where is it really going to show up? And all they've shown me is both teams are able to play to a certain level where they aren't affected by any round wins or round losses, right? They have stayed steady throughout it. This is why we've had such back and forth rounds of no one getting 3 or 4 rounds in a row. It's always been tops of 2, right? Top of 2 rounds taken, and then you just have to give up. The pressure is relented. But this is an interesting setup now. So this is actually a full push by the defenders. It looks like a full push from A site. And this could actually mean a little dire as Mountain realizes that he's the only one defending here. Drops 1. Hellboy ready to help out on the back end. And they grab 3. And response to 3 as well. Zarek grabs them with the pistols.
Yeah, and that push did catch somebody out. Bake Show in the back lines getting destroyed, and now it's Zarek, who already has 2 in the round. We need a quad in order to clutch this up. Actually has very solid positioning, all things considered, but both of these players on the defense are going to be moving up through long. Now information gained with the sonar arrow that they're coming from that direction. Both of them, Nightmare and Josh, you're going to be looking for him over in NECC area, and tag onto the head from Zarek on 1, but not able to convert into a frag. And so the defuse is forthcoming. And another round for FGCU. They take control of the pistol in this second half.
That was such a good attempt, right? Very clean. It's just, unfortunately, of course, that would have been a kill any other day with a regular weapon. Instead, you got that sidearm piece, old trusty, falling apart right at the last second. But the execution was almost there, right? A very nice hold and wait. You know, he didn't try and pull the trigger, didn't try and fire early, and that's one of the things that you do need to have nerves of steel to be able to make some of these clutch plays. Unfortunately, again, the gun didn't give it to you. But if I know anything, it's going to keep going like this, back and forth.
You know, maybe he just had an old Civil War relic. It got jammed a little bit. You know, it's unfortunate. It happens. You know, to the best of us. So maybe we won't see that coming into this round as the defense have the weaponry advantage. But we are already on to A. The shock dart's not netting much of anything, but the defense getting the most out of those frags. And, oh, that was close. Josh nearly got taken out, but got away with his life, just barely.
That's what you say, buddy, I gotta go, leave me alone, get out of my way. Just ran face first into his teammate. Plant on right behind the wall, so that's gonna force a firefight and a holdout here. So 3 inside, 1 out. Mountain says not 2 left inside. Very nice snap on the side, but immediately gets gunned right back down. Little bit of a wave push though, means that the clear has been completed. So can't stop the plant, but can definitely get the defuse.
Well, and that was the right decision. Getting out of there and then coming back in, certainly what you would have expected. I think the intelligent play, because you basically just allow for them to get that plant. It doesn't really hurt you. In fact, you get an extra ult orb out of it. That's another extra ult point from the defuse, by the way. I don't know if that was the thought process. Probably not. But, you know, hey, you're much better together. And together, the retake was strong.
I need
and actually, for the first time, I think we actually do. Nope, never mind. They wanted to prove me wrong. I was gonna say it was gonna be a save and an eco round by the side of Johnson and Wales, but then they went and picked up a couple of revolvers and SMGs and said, "Nah, we're going at it again."
They are only half buying here, but that area is going verb, and it's only good for 1. Nightmare though. Good for 2. Zarek, who's been having a wonderful game, has 2 of his own, followed up by Bake Show as Mountain. Now the sole defender left in a 1-on-2, but Zarek is left on a sliver of HP, just has 4 to his name.
You can hear it. Mountain got to be solid like a rock here if he wants to get it. 15 health. Got to hit that headshot. We'll see if he can make it. Clips his way out. But Spike rotating over towards that A site.
Less than 20 health between these 2 players, by the way.
He's gonna be on site. That's what's gonna happen. You get 1 second to hope your shot lands.
It's 1 bullet. We're playing just, you know, 1 in the chamber. That's what we're basically playing right now.
Oh no! Are they? They're actually gonna? No! This is gonna be pain. Who's got it? Oh! God, swapping weapons. Zarek, so unfortunate. He was in the last bit of the animation and just couldn't pull the gun up. Mountain comes away with the clutch victory to get our first 3-in-a-row round win.
Zarek, you can't shoot bullets with your gun on safety, mate. That's the problem. You gotta take it off the safety, flick the little lever, flick the switch. Come on, dude.
And you know, that's like the most painful thing, right? You just got caught with your pants down. Because who in the world runs that side, right? You're sitting there, you're screaming at your teammates like, bro, that is not the play that I would have seen in solo queue. What is going on here? But still, 3 rounds, very nice win for FGCU. They put themselves in prime position to continue holding on. With that half buy, we now have full buy coming out from Johnson and Wales. So if they have any time to turn it around, this is it.
Yeah, normally we'd see a bonus round here, but because of the fact it was 3 rounds in a row, no bonus. We're just going right into the guns. Mandark, though, winning that opening duel against Triple R, both of which having a very nice game of their own. Mandark sitting at 17 and 12, by the way. Oh, wonderful find from Fate, taking out Hellboy on that Cypher, nullifying all of that utility that's set up on the site.
And a little bit of a force out with that shock dart, making sure they know and have to keep on their toes. They can either rotate up here. Sova on the attackers might have some trouble. They walk. Oh no, very sorry. They pass just right around each other. So now we'll see with the spike down what they want to do. Zarek says hello to Mountain.
Hello and goodbye. He's taking him out. and this is looking like a round for Johnson and Wales, as I think, and indeed it looks like it should just be the save here for the defense. They have no chance of winning this 2v5. I mean, it would be a monstrous, retake, but yeah, a better decision. Just get out with the weaponry and save it into the next.
Yeah, and again, it's crazy to see this after, watching them get hammered for 3 rounds in a row, right? A full complete hold, all 5 members alive, all 5 weapons still in their hands, all of them now sitting with just above 2K credit in the bank. I mean, they're ready for whatever comes next, and you can actually see now. Well, let's see what they decide to do. Looking at Triple, Hellboy, and Mountain still have yet to buy.
Yeah.
I mean, are they?
I think they, well, okay. I was going to say they should be, but no. Looking at the cash now, I don't think that's really the right decision. Just saving some of these weapons, getting, an extra stinger, pistol or 2 seems right. But everybody's in mid. Everybody's pushing W. All 10 players in the same position. What's happening? Swindle with the first frag, and he gets the follow-up as well, but those guns taken down.
They said, we ain't playing in the back. We ain't waiting for the show to kick off. We are taking it all the way through. But the rotate, look at the rotate into A. All right, all the fighting kicks off. They say, we'll sneak a deke into that site and plant that spike down. 3 members make their way over under the cover of night. Oh, come on. They just wanted a fair duel in the middle.
They called the, run it down mid, knife only, and the disrespect there, I mean, just unreasonable. I cannot believe they would not go for that. Respect the 1v1s, but whatever. I understand. It's a real match. It's fine. I'm only a little bit disappointed, but yet again, we're going to be seeing the save come through for Florida Gulf Coast as they run away with a couple of Vandals and in solid prime position to have fairly solid economy moving forward. Now, granted, this will be narrowing that 3-round lead that FGCU got at the beginning of this half to just 1 as the attackers of Johnson and Wales take their 8th.
Yeah, all they needed were a few guns. All they needed was just a little bit more time, and that freeze was exactly what they needed. Take some time, let the economy build up, get the weapons that you need, and now they're starting to make those all-important plays. So, we've seen the slows, we've seen the rushes, and then we saw the mid to A rotate behind their back. What do you think Johnson and Whale will pull out next? Where do you assume that they're going to attempt to go?
Well, seeing as there's 4 players moving up towards C long, I'm thinking we're going to see more of this. I mean, this is more of a contact play, to be fair, as they're not really giving it away until they actually hit the site. But here it comes. That's the contact. Run it back is utilized as well as the Blade Storm. Those are both dispatched, though. Mandark with the 1. That run it back nearly out of the picture, and indeed it is. Zarek was there for the follow-up. Now Hunter's Fury coming through. Tried to deny a plant, but not hitting anyone in any of these positions. Does, in fact, deny the plant temporarily as Zarek has to come off of it, but it is just a 3-on-3 with all 3 of the defense coming from CT.
Oh, and Big Show gets a beautiful flank, able to tag a little bit of HP off. Unfortunately, only picked up 1 frag, so RHS is able to force it down. That is now, but a huge clutch! Zarek out of nowhere gets a 3K on the dot. What a nasty hold.
Zarek opening things up there with the ultimates and then closing it down. Open and shut, closed case. Easy does it from Zarek with the, now 17 and 10 scoreline. Pretty much leading the server with Mountain and Mandark as well. And by the way, 11 assists on that as well, just with, Sova, my apologies, getting the assists from the darts and everything. Absolutely beautiful stuff from Zarek, having a great game.
Not just a great game, the one that his team needs to kick off this week, number 1. And hoping that he can be that star in the coming matches. However, that's not the way you want to see your 2 stars fall. Both top fraggers are now down after only taking 1 in their wake. I mean, they're just dropping like flies now. RHS getting some revenge for last round. That is going to be FGCU saying, nah, you're stopping there. We're going to make sure that we at least get some semblance of control back.
I mean, Zarek just threw down, or rather, it was Make Show just threw down the cage right there. It's like, yeah, it's fine. I got a smoke. There's no, he can't see. Josh was like, nah, I got you. Don't worry about it. I don't need vision. Run it back through. Triple R. He's elected to go to the wrong direction, though. There's nobody there. There's now Josh playing close on the angles. He's got one. Retake looking strong. There's one player left. The Swindle gets two. It's not quite enough to close things down, though, as that defuse already came through and Triple R closes things out. But, man, that was a tight moment.
One of those moments that you enjoy as a Valorant player, knowing that you have to stand strong, that you need to be the one that clutches it up. Got that beautiful defuse off, saving themselves from dropping even lower in the hole, as now you can see the Econ really in trouble here. If they do not win this round, they will be in the hole for the next two.
Yeah, they certainly will, though. This has been pretty strong here on the defense. You know, 3 rounds going one way, then 3 rounds the last. But look at the defuses. All four of the rounds gained by the defense here has been a defuse. So maybe need to work on those site defenses or not give up those plants as easily. But either way, it's working out pretty well. 4-3 in the favor of the defense right now. FGCU, this is, like you said, a must-win round for them.
Yeah, when one of your teammates is literally sitting on no credits in the bank, he knows this is the last leg. You really want to make sure it's there, and Mountain is saying, yes, let's make sure that we can keep you in this game without having to econ at all. He grabs one off the site, and that's going to force Johnson and Wales to rethink their next move.
Well, think they will, and think for a little while. They are down one player, and that is a drone for some information, but doesn't actually spot out the window. Oh, in fact, does. My apologies. Nightmare actually throwing the tag through the box, and then the follow-up with the shock dart. Really heads up play. Makes this a 2-on-5, and this is so difficult to try and come back from. Triple R still on this A site, and so they've got so many angles to clear. They have not been holding this position, and with just 14 seconds left, this is going to be nigh unwinnable for the offense.
Yeah, just the hard push up through that connection tunnel. Doesn't get it off either, so defenders pick it up. FGCU ready to start closing the doors here in this game number 1. Put themselves in a winning position moving into the second map.
Yeah, I mean exactly right. FGCU, I mean, listen, I'm familiar with this, not necessarily this team, but with this esports program. It has a very solid CS roster. I think a pretty good League of Legends team, if I'm not mistaken, though could be wrong on that one. So no slouches here. Definitely solid all the way around. And so I'm curious to see if they will be able to close this out. It's just 2 rounds, though, the deficit. Johnson and Wales ain't out of this yet.
No, they are not. They're not going to give up. They know that they can fight as much as they want. I mean, they need to, right? You get that one chance, and that's it. Swindle grabs one, I think, through a wall right there. Happy to dance that out as much as he needs to. And again, the rush, they're able to get it down onto C, and this has been their MO. This is one to get the plan down quick and try and make sure to pick out some stragglers on the back end. You can see the 3 falling back to the sides as Bake Show grabs one and loses one. Now a little snapper on the side. Triple R happy to maintain the status quo. 3-on-3, but only a couple seconds left on this spike, and they catch the lurker. Triple R goes down. Now they have to wait. Are they going to get onto it in time? It looks like no. They will lose out on that. Nightmare grabs Swindle. I don't think it's enough time. Defuse set. Goes half. Might be able to get enough. Is he going to get it? No! Zarek takes him out. Is he going to get the rest? No! Fate makes the play. Long range catch on the back end. Oh, that was close.
Man, talk about a slim margin there, Orbital. I don't know if he can get tighter. It is yet again a 1-round deficit. Still playing from behind are Johnson and Wales, but talked about the economy, and it was a couple of rounds in between. So to be fair, not really fully destroyed that economy for FGCU. But I want to talk Nightmare real fast. How many times have we just seen great shock dart frags coming out from Nightmare on this Sova? Has just consistently been hitting them. So impressive, just all game long. Definitely a standout player here for FGCU.
A fantastic one indeed, and you know, being able to have that level of skill and back it up as well, like in these games, in these crucial points, he has been the top fragger, somewhat lowest on the desk as well, pretty middle of the ground. But I mean, what can you say for the man? The man's been playing so well, and then Zarek on the other side has been doing the exact same, 19 in his pocket, and we're seeing every member so far in this series. You know, every member on the team is stepping up, trying to put their best foot forward at the start of the season, and that's what you want to see. No one lagging behind, everyone on the same page as well. So, you know, this is just game number 1, even. We'll have to wait and see for game 2 as well. Mandark traps out his mirrored opponent. That's going to be the plant. Come out as Swindle and Fate take out a few more, now down to a 4-on-2.
I'm smelling another tied game here, Orbital. It's looking like it should be a round for Johnson and Wales if there's not any heroics. So I will say we have seen some heroic plays all day long. But nobody really giving anything away there. And in fact, Nightmare, just nearly losing his life to the spam through the boxes, but does eventually get away. So again, this defense has consistently been forced to save whenever the offense hitting that A site. So maybe a bit of a weakness there. Not quite sure. Either way, solid stuff from the Johnson and Wales side of the field as we are tied back up. My feeling, definitely correct on that one.
Oh, and not just that, we're in for a long night, and I'm very curious, right? When we see these kind of long, drawn-out matches where it comes down to the wire, right? How that affects the player's mental. These games, but I'm sure you have, it's just like that mental drain on the factor of having to play so many games in a row, having to play so many rounds, and always at such a high level. I'm curious with what you've seen so far, do you think this is going to cause some problems in games 2 and 3?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to say. Honestly, I don't necessarily think I would be willing to make any, like, definite statements of fact. It's just so up in the air, and Big Show, what a great read. Seeing, okay, they're kind of low on eco, might be trying for some aggressive plays. That's what they did last time on the eco, and indeed we're seeing that. But he's hunting down is good to pick up a second, but not a third. So it's 3-on-4. The retake should be incoming. A couple of weapons picked up, but it's still going to be tough.
Spike planted.
And Hellboy swinging around the side. Did see a few cheat to the back end of the C and a connector hallway. But Mandark catches Mountain sleeping on the rotation as well. So seems, at least at this point, for the first time, Johnson and Wales might be grabbing that lead in the very tight race for this game number 1.
Not only the lead, but map point as well. It is 12-11. I mean, honestly, a difficult decision to be made there to not go for the full buy. We see that it was kind of halfway one way and the other. Hellboy and Josh both buying down to $0. Everybody else had some cash left residually, so not everybody really on the same page here. Look, Mandark going for some frags, but not quite able to bring that up to speed. So here we are. 12-11 map, point on the line. This is a best of 3 series, so nobody going home off of this one, but either way, it's been close all the way, and I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see FGCU force an overtime here.
This is insane. First series of this evening, we saw go all the way, game 3, almost all the way through into a tie series, and almost having to go for the the overtime rounds as well. Here we're seeing them fight down to the tooth and nail, and it all comes down to this, right? 2 members on the side of FGCU, no armor, so this is all skill based coming in here on the C side push.
Well, and it's an open site at that. So we're looking at maybe a 5-on-5 retake. That shock dart came through, but didn't really do much damage to Fate. The second one not going to be connecting. Is now Triple R going to be utilizing that, run it back and gets one. Oh, doesn't quite actually pick up the frag. Right there. That's an unfortunate tag down, and here comes that retake. It's still a little bit advantage either way, but those the shock darts to the other side. Swindle continuing to find kills somehow through the smoke.
Oh my god!
Swindle just every single time now above with the knives doing the work, and it's just Mountain who's then taken out by Mandark, and it is 13-11. I thought it was going to be FGCU all the way, but Johnson and Wales bringing it back at the last minute to close us out 13-11.
And I have to say that was, I don't know if it was tactics or not, right? But luck or skill always comes into certain games, and I think that came through there. Johnson and Wills played very well to climb their way forward, but such an unfortunate series where you laid all your eggs into a basket. FGCU ended up with no armor on the back end, and it showed, right? Quick tags back and forth, snapping up those two diffusers. That's the make or break point in Valorant that makes it so exciting to watch sometimes.
Yeah, and honestly, Swindle had a bit of a slow game there at the start, but closing things out perfectly. I mean, playing a great game there at the very end and making it count when it matters. And that's what really it comes down to. Those final plays, final moments that make the biggest differences. And I will say that I think that, you know, FGCU's decision making on the defense a little bit questionable in my book. Maybe needed not to be giving up those sites as easily if your retakes are not working out as well. And we saw that they clearly were not there late in the game. So they maybe need to make some adjustments. I'm not 100% sure, but they're definitely going to be thinking about it, because that is the stuff of nightmares. 13-11, and they were ahead till just the last moment. Man, that was an exciting game, and we're not even done. We have at least one more map of Valorant in this series. Orbital, final thoughts before we head to a quick little break?
I just want to see more. That's all I want to see. I just want to see more action, and you know, maybe some other members on both sides also step up, start showing what they can do. Maybe these new maps will grant us a little bit more insight on what these two teams are able to bring to the table.
Yeah, well, with that, let's just take a little bit of a break. You guys go out there, grab your popcorn, grab your drinks. We'll see you right back here shortly with another map, at least, of Valorant.
And we are back after that very short break. Thank you so much for waiting around. We will be getting underway here for game number 2. Actually, on Ascent. We said it before. We were like, hey, it's going to be Ascent first. We got a little mix up. It was Haven. However, Ascent is going to be coming up next, and we will get to see if Johnson and Wales are able to close it out in a 2-0, or if they will falter and allow FGCU to move on to a game or a map number 3. Vincent, this was one of the closer ones that we've seen thus far. Of course, first series of the day, very close one way or another. But, I mean, gleaning from this, we saw some faltering. You were talking about it. FGCU maybe giving up a little bit too much in that defensive positioning. I mean, do you see this becoming a big issue that can be exploited in map 2? Or what do you think is going to happen here?
Well, I will say that map 1 was already being exploited. FGCU giving up those sites on the periphery of the map, you know, it's not bad. It's not like bad tactically, just in general, to do that. I don't want to be misunderstood here. You should do that in some cases, but you shouldn't give both A and C up at once, and that's what was happening. That being said, we are moving to Ascent, and there's only 2 sites here. So, you know, it's hard to say if that was a Haven problem or if that's an FGCU problem. Nonetheless, I do need to see something change for FGCU in this map if they want to take it. FGCU dropping their map of Haven, that was their pick. So moving into Ascent, I think Johnson and Wales in prime position to go 2-0 in this series by taking their pick after beating FGCU on their own.
Yeah, you never want to lose on your map pick. That I like, no one wants to have that happen. That means you're just either sloppy or you had a little communication problem. Either way, we'll see. Again, there are only 5 maps, so there's 1 in 5 chance that it is going to be their best map, and maybe the opponents as well. So we'll get to see. So far, we do see, I believe it does say 5 lock-ins. I can't really see what Hellboy's agent will be. However, new one on the table, coming in for Triple R.
Yeah, I do think that interesting picks here for the FGCU side already. I kind of call this the meta on Ascent. The Killjoy and Reyna, very much meta composition here. Though we are seeing Fate pull out a Breach. And listen, as a caster, I am a Breach stan. I've been a Breach fan the entire time since release of the game beta. You catch me playing that Breach in the ranked. Already had now a 3rd flash since then, and I'm a big fan of Breach on this map. The question is, how can you use the Breach effectively to set your team up for success? So take a look at Fate on that pick and make sure to keep your eye there, because that is going to be the difference here, where we see, you know, a Killjoy on the other side. There's no Sentinels here for the defense. They don't have any Sentinels, no, you know, late round map control. They can't hold off areas or anything with the, you know, Killjoy utility or with the Cypher utility, because they don't exist. So be on the lookout for it as we move forward.
Well, round 1 will be the one to watch. You know, map 1 was a testing phase. Map 1, try and feel out as much as you can. Get a sense of how your opponent plays. Now you got to start showing up and putting out. You got to be able to say, all right, we take control, because you can't keep giving the momentum away. You can't keep giving it back and forth. You have to be decisive. You have to be able to play it out. Maybe the agent change is what they need. And First Testament, once again, always got to stack at least 1 site. Better make it be this time.
I mean, that is not looking like the case. So right now, the leader comes out to try and clear any players off of the angles, and there is no angles to be cleared. Nobody's home. And so the site is taken, though at a bit of a cost of some. Comes in very, very quickly. Mandark and Swindle trading back 2, so we're in a 3-on-3 before you blink, Orbital.
All it took was about 1 little obscure smoke to go out, and just boom, everyone's dead. What happened? What happened? Where'd everyone go? A little bit of a sneak coming in on the side, a little bit of cheat that Hellboy's holding, so the mic gets snapped up. Slow roam, but immediately puts himself in a bad area. Nightmare and Mountain hoping to stand it off, but can't. Mandark picking up a 3K here in round 1. Gonna be sitting on a little bit of bank to start off this map.
Well, I called Mandark out, said had a bit of a slow start in the last game. Not starting out slow in this one. Cleaned things up and was really warmed up and going by the end of the last map, and continuing that sort of form into the pistol round. A triple kill from Mandark to close things out. As it is FGCU going down, and I will say that from my feeling, just the eye test, I do feel like FGCU might have like overall a more skilled roster, but the usage of the utility has just been better from this Johnson and Wales side overall, and that's interesting, and especially since they elected to bring the breach in. I think that really does communicate that sort of difference.
Spike drop.
And I think that's going to shine even more here with these different operators on the table, these different agents running around and being able to utilize these talents as best they can. A hard eco round with one half shield coming out with a little bit of armor as Swindle drops Josh R. Mandark drops Hellboy. I mean, this is an eco, this is an eco. 2 members down very, very quickly.
Out of charges.
No real way to win this, though. A spike plant would not be a negative, and indeed Mountain is going to throw that spike down, and so the retake should be coming in, but it is 3 classics here for the defense, and it's probably going to be short-lived. And indeed, Nightmare's life is very short-lived. Mountain going to be soon to follow. Tries to get out of dodge and gets paranoid, but the right click is solid. They supposedly nerfed that, well, I call shenanigans. Mandark, 2 rounds, 2 3Ks.
You know, he was the MVP, highest KDA, I think, in the first map. This time around, he's looking to even beat that. Already on his way to double-digit kills, so very solid start. Looks like we're going to get some ultimate throwing knives possibly coming out here in the 3rd round.
Well, and he just gave away his rifle, so I think your call might be right, Orbital. He's going to be picking those daggers out and trying to hit some headshots with them. I'm interested to see how that goes, and it looks like this is going to be a very standard setup, as we're going to see the paranoia come through, and there's 3 players on the offense over this direction. This could be massive.
Not a good, jumps right up, throws one, immediately gets dropped. So not exactly the Valorant highlight that he was hoping for. And unfortunately on the flip side, also lost a member down another long corridor. So a little bit rough right there. And now they got to play a little bit safer. A little tag with the skills, as each side looks to be the way to go.
Mandark was trying to do his best 10-10 pressure. Unfortunately, it fell a little bit short. So Triple R is making things work there on the arena, and has pretty much entirely taken this lead site. It's 2 on 4 for the retake. There's no Mandark to get the triple kill, so it's going to have to be a singular step up if they even go for this one.
1 enemy remaining.
Zarek said yes, and Zarek said I'm dead. The Mountain responded in kind, so Bake Show looking to pick off 1 or 2 more. Oh, feels bad, man. Tagged the wall instead of what he actually wanted, so attackers decide to pick up a 3. As Mountain says, I'll take a 3K for myself. Looks like everyone's getting in on the action.
Hey, you do love to see that. Mountain does have the teleport ready to go. And I mean, listen, I want to just give some, shout outs real fast though to Mandark and Swindle. They tried to play that aggressively over towards A. I think that's actually really, really good on the defense. It's a mainstay of Ascent, and so in particular, you really have to try to get aggressive on your defensive side if you want to take any map control. And it didn't work out that time. Sometimes you do lose that out, and fair enough. Right, ended up going 1 for 1. It's not the end of the world, even though they did lose the round. So an investment here for both sides. Operator for Mandark, who is sitting at the top of the leaderboard for both teams, 7-1. Just that last round, the death, as we get into what is round number 4. But we are in a bit of a pause, just an FYI. So we will be awaiting the unpause. And in fact, that has come through. I speak it into being, Orbital. That's how it works, apparently.
I mean, I'm okay with that. Get off that pause, get back into the momentum, and see what they can bring about. Because Seems we went right back to the original pattern, right? No more than 3 wins in a row. Not allowed to have that on your side. But once again, FGCU, still a very worrying trend is both their round wins came off the defuses, right? Giving up that site just a little bit too quickly might come back to bite them once again.
Well, this time they weren't really giving up the site. I'd hate to see the solo aggression from the breach. That's just not usually a good idea because flashing yourself in just not super effective. I can tell you from my ranked games as a breach player, unfortunately. And so, well, that was what was tried to happen from Fate, and is not super effective. So after that first pick, we're headed towards A in a 5-on-4.
And a quiet recon coming out here. Open with the firebolt. Swinging around, going up to the second level, and is probably going to be spotted out here. Immediately snap close. So a lurker in back as A is rushed once again, and a death. The side of SGCU means they are playing from the top bunk. Swindle gets one in return. Nightmare dropped down to the grave.
Quick question, though, didn't really need to. Plant comes in a bit late, and in fact, the frags going the direction of the defense. Johnson and Wales now Zarek is going to be able to stick this defuse, and there's no one there to really defend it as the rest of the attackers get dispatched one by one, and that dark cover helping out Zarek in that defuse, as it is now 3-1, so not 3 in a row, but 3 up as we move into round number 5.
Yeah, and you know, I was picking on him, picking on him a little bit for giving up on those defuses, but I will say these site takebacks have been much cleaner than I would have expected. Very quick takes, they know what they want, very clean shots as well on primary spots where the opponent would be. It seems to be the best option for them if they're wanting to get the jump on the opponent. Mandark, though, fallen very quickly. That's the man that we were watching before. So, top fragger is out. Rest of the team. Got to take a hold here.
Swindle has his Empress ready to go. Oh! It doesn't even need it. It's an absolute dumpster fire as everybody runs in, gets demolished in the grinder of Swindle and Co. Swindle closing things out with a triple kill. So Mandark going down didn't really matter a whole lot there, as that's another round in the favor of Johnson and Wales, starting to run away with things here, Orbital.
If you've never seen something be put through a meat grinder, that was it. Flanking off the sides, they run straight in. You don't know who to shoot at, and you pinch. That is probably one of the cleaner plays I've seen so far in the defensive side here. Very nice round win, and put themselves up a little bit more. I think they're also, this is a eco round as well, coming out of the Johnson and Wales, I believe. No, FGCU. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, and well, he's certainly not starting out in their favor. Swindle with another frag, now sitting up there at 8 with Mandark as well. So sneaking his way out cheekily onto this site. In fact, there's nobody here to defend against the plant, though the utility is coming and has been perma-blind and stunned, basically stun-locked. And indeed, it's just continuing. I mean, this is just toxic. That's absolutely toxic right there. Gets hit with the earthquake. Gets hit with the stun through the wall. Then the paranoia comes through. Then the flash again from the breach. Like, he just can't see anything. He's got his hands. His hands are over his eyes. He's blind.
Oh, that's a little revenge as well. Hellboy said, "You blind my teammates, I take your life." Dragged one straight after that. So, thus far though, a drastically different outset here as Johnson and Wales are looking like they do want to end it on a little bit earlier night here. 5-1, already at that minimum to give themselves a nice second half, right? As long as you get to that one halfway point, you're good to go. You know that the next round you're coming in with a little bit of a safety net under you.
Yeah, and I think I was mentioning before we got in Haven, you know, that a sit can be a defender-sided map. You know, it's sometimes up in the air, but I think more defensive-sided than offensive-sided in general. So, you know, you could fall back on that. You know, if you are FGCU, you know, in the thought process, like, hey, this isn't that big a deal. But it's certainly been a strong start. Speaking of strong starts, FGCU looking to respond now as Hellboy picks up an opening frag.
Yeah. And so far, they've been able to tag at least one or two, but they haven't really been able to commit in, and it's stalling them. You can see the hard rushes have been completely negated. They're trying to find more than just one. They need to find at least two, or at least drop some damage, a little bit more than what they have already. And it's got him worried, and that's exactly why Mandark, he didn't have this this shot from before, and now bringing out the sniper here in the map number 2. Drastic improvement and really putting everyone on edge.
30 seconds left.
Hunter's Fury came out to deny the lockdown anything at all, and in fact, Big Show picking up a frag off the back of that. So committed the Hunter's Fury just to deny the lockdown and got away much more. That aftershock coming through the wall, not quite enough. Followed up was better. Mandark now with the frag. Headshot on the triple R, and so it's 2 on 4. Make it 2 on 1 now. As Hellboy tries their best to pick up the slack, but it's Bake Show to close things out with 3. As we are continuing to move forward with defensive domination.
Such a different game coming out here. It's like Johnson and Wales said, screw this. We're done playing slow. We're done playing at someone else's tempo. We know this map, and we will take it. And I mean, this op from Mandark is working miracles. He dropped 2 at the beginning, and it's disgusting, right? It's completely stuffed any of these rushes. And I said it once, I'll say it again, and I'll keep saying it. For as long as he keeps having this weapon in his hands, I swear.
I mean, yeah, he's been electrifying. There's no doubt, no question about it. With the weaponry back out here for the offense, see how this goes. The Hunter's Fury is coming out off the back of that tag, but it has not really found anything, and so it's been slowing down this push. But now there's 4 players here.
Massive firefight right in that wall of pain. Drops a few more as Swindle grabs 2 before his death. And Triple R says, I can do it too. 1 left alive. This might be the turnaround that they're looking for. Last one is Mandark. He's sitting on top 25. Eco, or save or not is the question there. Looks like he wants to play it out. Steps up. Blind spot. No one sees him. Oh. Couple shots went back, and so that will mean the save.
I think Mandark was just looking for something to give him away because had already pulled out the Blade Storm, so didn't really want to waste that if not. And also, if you look at the cash, I mean, let's just say that Johnson and Wells are flush with it. They've got all the money. They've been taking it round by round and 4 in a row just this pass. So finally, a response here on the pick of Johnson and Wales for FGCU. They have gotten their 2nd round, but it has been a painful ordeal for them to get even to this point.
Yeah, it really has. They haven't experienced that, right? 4 rounds in a row, dominated from start to back, and still Mandark has his trusty op. He has that one gun that can still lay down a lot of pain and a lot of pressure. And until they get that weapon off of him, he will continue to be a pain in their side. And you know, after that round buildup, this is the worst part as well. It's not dropping to eco right after that round, right? It's not dropping straight into this pistols only SMGs. It's I'm facing another full buy. I'm facing another round of slaughter, and they have to work their way again from square one.
Yeah, and again, into this round, their money is not ideal. So as we see that owl drone looking to maybe open things up for Jay, Swindle gets tagged with the dart. So the information has been gained now. Right, no, just a long one, a little longer than I anticipated. Zerito is waiting and ready for the paranoia. It's through, and that information is there. A double kill to Rolling Thunder. to follow things up. Derek with the third. Mandark chiming in. And it's just Killjoy left in a 1-on-4. It's a shutdown play that stopped anything from continuing.
Zarek said I ran out of bullets. Nah, I got my pistol, bro. Gets a 3K off of that pinch. And now Killjoy gets to decide if he wants to live or die. Oh, that is Hellboy needing a miracle if he wants to stay alive with his weaponry.
Hellboy better be praying.
So ironic with the name there, as he gets one at least. Gets two! Wait, is he gonna turn it? Is he gonna... He gets three! What is that? What is it? What? They walked in 1 by 1! Hellboy's like, oh wait, I got this. Give me a sec.
Don't worry, I clutched these.
What? What was that? Oh no, I think he was spotted too, so... Oh, he actually got... Oh my gosh. Words do not describe how bad that has to feel.
Oh no. And the swarm grenades too here, Orbital. This is doable. Oh, but he missed! He missed it! He's gotten off though, Mandark. Oh!
Oh my god!
Hellboy 1v4 clutch to put a third round on the board. Just careless play there from the defense of Johnson and Wales to allow for Florida Gulf Coast to get back into this, as Hellboy just makes an incredible play.
That is the point of, you know, every football game where the coach is going to take you back at halftime and probably make you run suicides for a little bit. Like, two members walk in, get dropped, the third turns his back to that opponent and thinks of walking away. You had 4-1 and you gave it. That is a misplay of misplays, and now they have to try and climb back. We are looking at the weaponry, still pretty high, but half armors on multiple members. So, you know, one tag and you are done. And now Josh R decides it's his turn with the op.
You give me a flashback there to the soccer days where I'm running suicides, but it's okay. I'll forgive you. As we are seeing that it looks like we're going to be grouping up towards a B hit, something we haven't seen a lot of in the recent rounds. Two players still committed over towards A. In fact, nobody really fully committed here at B, though there is two players on the periphery here for the defense, but one smoked off. Now the second as well does get tagged, and that aftershock could be good. Ooh, not quite able to make it, and Zarek with the teleport able to get back onto the site. Now standing strong. The defense is here. One for Zarek and Big Show taking Triple R down as he tries to get aggressive. Fate as well chiming in for one, and suddenly it's 2 on 4 and make it 3 on none as the defense rolls in like a wrecking ball and takes everything out one by one by one.
The coach didn't even wait for halftime. He just slapped them each upside the head and walked off.
They all went to go do suicides.
Yeah. That was a very clean hold, though, there. I will say beautiful. Only losing 2 and a flawless execution, right? Pinching in on all sides. Still have the primary members who needed their weaponry the most. And now this is a little bit painful for the side of... for FGCU, a single pistol and armor for Josh R. Lost that operator. Feels so bad to gamble and to lose it all to the house.
I mean, if you're gambling, you are most likely going to be losing it all to the house, just as an FYI. You know, keep it real over here. So, anyway, I will say this has been solid on the ecos. Hellboy now with a 1. It's a headshot on to Swindle. That Reyna taken out early into this round. Big control gained as well for the offense, so not all lost here, as it could be a nice little B pinch, and that's what we're going to be seeing here, Orbital.
Revealing area.
Nice little B pinch indeed, but once again, that is a nasty, nasty defense setup.
Planted.
Spike has been planted, but health bar is not looking that great. Ultimates are up. Zarek says down to a 1. He's gonna hold sniper close range to the face.
Yeah, and Mandark as well at 15, and 3, by the way. 15-3. I mean, that's just a crazy scoreline. Sitting, you know, what, 11 rounds in? Yeah, 8 plus 3. That is 11. I can do math. It's perfectly fine. But yeah, just really incredible stuff all the way around from Mandark and Swindle, by the way, who's sitting, you know, close by, all the way on the other side, the only player in that really realm at 13-7. So last round, as it is going to be the bye for both sides, operators for both sides, Josh and Mandark. But I have to be honest, Mandark has been getting the better of this duel every time thus far in this map.
But this time, that's I thought the only reason I thought it was different is because literally they're both playing the same character, both have the op. I was like, oh yeah, oh wait, my brain just decided to trick me. Josh R gets sniped in the arm, loses HP, and Mandark looking like he wants to put a complete ace for himself right before the first half ends.
You sounded so dejected there. It's okay. You know, just
I want to see the underdog win for once.
Yeah, getting behind FGCU, I can understand that, but unfortunately, it's not really working out in their favor here. It's Johnson and Wales picking up a third. It's now a 3-man advantage as well. Hellboy is looking to lock down this A site, but that is going to be just about it. In fact, it's all just a bait, I think. They're just going to be rotating out. It has garnered some rotations, but it's not all of the rotations. And in fact, Bake Show is here ready for Mountain, who has the spike.
He wasn't. Hold out, does get the kill just like he wants, but immediately dropped. Mandark picks it up with the ulti. Says, let's have some fun. I want to show off a bit. Wasn't able to do it before. Couple shots through the doors as it closes, and now Hellboy, 30 HP, no armor. You're just praying to look good now. Oh, actually is able to do the bait. Zarek kind of feeling bad about that one. And Fate says, nah, you can't do my man like that. Defenders up. Johnson and Wales take first half. 9-3.
Can I just say, a defense of my standing of the breach? That's exactly why. I mean, that poor. Honestly, poor Hellboy. He's unlocked. He's just unlocked. There's nothing he can do. He's flash and then flash and then flash. There was another stun after that. If he hadn't died, he would have been stunned again. Orbital. Oh, it's devastating.
It's
Here.
Oh,
I want to play the game. I want to play the game.
let me push my buttons, please.
At least give me a fighting chance, you know. That's all they can say there. But we will be getting into the second half now, and I'm excited because that one was very one-sided. We'll see if it's primarily because the defense has a little bit quick, or if that was Johnson and Wales just putting on a clinic. Attack coming out here on the A site right away. He's able to make it through. Mandark says he wants to play with fire.
Fire indeed, and Fire's shots that are connecting. Mandark now could get more aggressive. Hellboy, though, does go down, and would have died to the bot if it wasn't for the player Triple R on the site. It's now 1v1, but the HP not favoring Bake Show, but the kill certainly was as he cleans up the triple. So a triple kill for both of these pistol rounds, and both of them going in the favor of Johnson and Wales.
Man, it just doesn't matter how much HP you have if you're looking the wrong way and caught with your pants down. 10-3, and already looking like a painful set here. Gotta start making some fun plays, hopefully. But this is all in the hands of Johnson and Wales now.
Indeed it is. And, well, moving forward. This is going to be a 1-for-1 trade here over towards B. Lots of utility going out. Going to try and deny that area. And, in fact, a little bit careless for Swindle to just kind of walk into that that nano swarm. And so it is a B site, but at a significant cost. And an advantage here for the defense of Florida Gulf Coast.
That was... I just watched his health bar slowly deplete away like he was just sucking on poison. Ended up losing his life there. That's just unfortunate, as defenders now have a few chances. FGCU have that option and take it right away. Hellboy says, thank you, I'll take the 3K. I'll take 4, actually. They come back. They are able to hold it with 4 members as well. Very nice. That's side of FGCU.
I mean, I hate to be that guy, but I'm pretty sure Hellboy has like almost as many frags as the entirety of the rest of his team. Hellboy's playing incredibly right now. That's so impressive. There's 2 quad kills as well this game for Hellboy, and 1v4 clutch one of those. So definitely some rounds to go on the highlight reel for Hellboy in this game, even if it's not looking as if it'll be a victorious one. Though this is still possible. I mean, it is 10-4, but with that round victory in the second, definitely a comeback could be on the cards here, but it would be a long race.
I can also assume another, as we do see a lot of SMGs, and I might not be able to stand up to the pain that is being brought by Hellboy and his squad. Breaking down the doors, Nightmare. Trying to open up the map a little bit, and a rotate coming out from the defender side. Hellboy looking like he wants to put another, but a very nice peek spots it out. Zarek says we will not be caught sleeping once again.
Nightmare was trying to get a frag from that distance, but the Stinger is just not very good at that long range, so it's not too effective. Though it does get a significant tag off onto that player. And a very spread defense is 2 pushing through B. The Owl drone comes out, is going to find a couple of players here in spawn, but it does give the information away that there is somebody waiting. So information going both ways, and ooh, that's a very nice sonar dart, giving away some more of that. As well, the re-aggression, Nightmare and Triple R working out in their favor. Now Bake Show left in a 2-on-1, not even able to pick up the first, even though he recovered the rifle.
That's rough. You saw it right there. He had the bead, just a little bit off on the lining. Couldn't clutch it up, and that's going to put it at 10-5. So very slow climb, but I mean, winning 2 rounds, it's got to start feeling good for the side of FGCU.
Yeah, and you know, slowly and surely moving back into this, it is a, you know, a position where you have to just take things round by round. Orbital, you can't get too far ahead of yourself. That's exactly what we're seeing happening. Though, being said, though, we are into a gun round for both teams, and in fact, the Blade Storm has already been pulled out from Mandark. We're seeing how effective he can be with it on this jet.
I want to see if he can pull more than just one with this. Last time it was with the ult and a gun. See if he can flip out a couple knives and be able to keep that spree going. Big Show deciding he and his buddy want to quietly start peeking into this B site. It's been littered with cameras, it looks like, and a couple other defensive tools. Run around this side though. Josh R finds Zarek, and he finds another 2. Bake Show falling into the wings swindle, grabbing 1 in return. Now 44 seconds left. Start deciding where to make moves as they push the spike onto a site.
Yeah, and well, these daggers are ready and rear, and they go into a skull, and well, that's a couple of missed ones, but the follow-up is good. Resets the knives and goes back at it for another. It's still 3-on-3 now for Swindle, who's sitting on Cat, uses the leer to try and gain some position. A second one going out indeed, as the Nanostorm tries to push him off, but little did that Killjoy know that it's actually going to be close range here. The Nightmare on the side is picking up both of the frags. Mandark and Fate going down as Hellboy comes around the corner to secure that 3rd frag and the 3rd round in a row here for Florida Gulf Coast.
Once again, Mandark is at the top, but Hellboy putting on a show with these fakes. You know, I think it's rare to see someone get away with this many fake offenses, right? The turret drop and everything, and I think you were pointing it out earlier. That has been the name of the game. 20-10-1. This man has been on a tear. And if he can continue this could easily swing right back, right? You know, they were up 10-4. We could easily see an 11-11 by the end of this.
I mean, we absolutely could, and so I'm ready for it, though. I think that we are going to get to a point where there's enough gun rounds in a row that we could see some stabilization for Johnson and Wales, and that's certainly what they're looking for. Fate having a bit of a slow game, setting it 4-12 right now, but honestly, as a breach, it's not necessarily a problem as long as you're setting your team up for success.
Yeah, happy to keep trying. That's going to be Mountain finding Mandark once again. That puts it into a 3-on-5. Spread out thin, though. Johnson and Wales, a little uncertain of where they want to make their next move. They know these hallways are all being watched, so got to make your choice quick.
Well, it looks like the choice might be A. Zarek just trying to sniff out what's happening here. Does win the duel against Josh, but it is at the cost of significant damage. 11 HP left
30
for
seconds
him.
left.
As just 30 seconds left. Nobody really committing anywhere just yet for the offense. Now that's the teleport. The Omen going back, sight with Triple R, able to pick that up, and now Paranoia in. It takes Bake Show out of the equation, and Mountain wins the duel against Fate. Bake Show left with 10 seconds, and that's going to be it. Not enough time to really deal with anything. And Orbital, I will say that this defensive setup with these agents is so much stronger on defense, and so it would make sense that the defensive setup would be way better for FGCU in this case, especially with that Killjoy.
Yeah, I mean, you know, definitely stronger is the right term for it. As we already see, they have matched it. 4 rounds are being held as we do have a pause once again. So little technical difficulty, what actually gives us a chance here, right, to talk about the state of the game. For the first time, we see stability on both sides, right? 4-round wins for one, and then 4-round wins on the other. However, the problem does come in here, I feel, you know, where do you go from next? How do you wrest control back, especially as Johnson and Wales, who are having such a good time and now on the faltering side, have to decide what to do within the next, I would say, 4 or 5, or else they're going to end up with a loss.
Yeah, I mean, the question of what to do is somewhat of a difficult one, but I think that realistically, you just need to put together a couple of rounds. You only need 3 to win, you know, and it's not really that difficult to pick up, you know, a couple of rounds here on your offense. That being said, from my perspective, they need to do a better job of just not losing these opening duels. It seems like every time you see FGCU take the frag, you know, before things really even go down.
Yeah, those early kills are definitely causing problems. You know, you don't have your full force squad to be able to push in like you have wanted to, but this time they're trying. Full rush. Defender Killjoy going out. That might be a possible clincher. Zarek watching his team die. Swindle and Mandar get destroyed. 3 quick kills for the defenders. Means that the offense squad is going to cause some problems. Zarek running into a wall, and that's going to be pushed up to 10-8. FGCU coming back in a big way.
Well, and Hellboy didn't get all the kills, but might as well have contained 3 players with the lockdown and made that retake just a formality. We did see that Maestro pulled out the Hunter's Fury in return, trying to deny that, but wasn't able to find it. I don't even know, I didn't even notice where it was put down. In fact, specifically, either way, it was a sneaky enough position that Bake Show was not looking for it. I have been reliably informed that it was sitting on a lamp in grass, so that is a very cheeky position. I do love to see that.
I think I saw that one too, floating around on the internet, you know, showing off some of the crazy places you can put it. And so, yeah. So you gotta love these innovative ways to get that to work, and that's gonna be a hard rush, and they find a Mountain going down. Fate claiming that kill, and for the first time, a man up. Johnson and Wales finally have a chance to get a little bit of control back. Doors go down, and the defenders are forced into a single corridor.
Yeah, that's a bit of a problem here. If now Hellboy is moving away, the aftershock goes through. Now Trimmer out again. Fate can consistently hold off these rotations for just a little bit longer. Nightmare, though, the opening frag doing wonders. The leaders come out, both of them netting at least one frag. Mandark just gets one back, but that blast from Fate, so perfect. The shot working wonders, and well, Triple R coming back through. Pop that Empress, and the extra fire rate was enough to pick up the 2-on-1 and close things out. It's just a 1-round deficit as it's a clutch from Triple R.
I wanted to see FGCU pull this back. I wanted to see them start running it back, showing off that they can do it too, and they have. 6 rounds. Highest streak of rounds we've seen thus far in this series, and they are making it work. Just a little bit more. They can claim this one, push it to a map 3, but they can't give up too much. However, I don't think they'll have too much trouble. Johnson and Wales, again, looking like they might be forced into a minor... No, they are, I think, half buying. I think, yeah, a couple pistols, SMGs. Nothing hard, though.
Well, I mean, they got plenty of cash to buy into next round regardless, so that's what you would expect. Just getting out what they can. And Mandark has pulled out the Blade Storm, so, you know, whenever Mandark has Blade Storm online, I think we know there's always a possibility, and in fact gets aggressive with the shots, but there is a second player there that was not aware of, and Zarek, though, picks that up now. Show with another frag. That makes things difficult. Now Nightmare with the return frag, but both of these defenders very, very low on health, so just a single left on Swindle, but it's very winnable.
How fast is your swivel, Swindle? That's the question. You see both of them pop up. All you need is one tag each, and you'll have the round win for your team. Going quietly. Spike is up, and they know. So the question is, where are they coming from? Rotate around. Oh, but shot in the back!
I mean, that was such a fast rotation through Garden. I mean, that was so quick. I mean, it was the right decision there for the defense to just stay together. FGCU played it perfectly, but I mean, they had their W keys taped down. There was no stopping for them, and they pick up that equalizer. So it was a you know, a difficult one at the end of the day, but still 10-10 now. We're all tied up, Orbital.
Man, it's just... And as Johnson and Wales, I wonder how you have to be feeling, right? You were up so far, and you dropped 7 rounds in a row. You probably feel just rough, and you're trying to recollect yourselves. You know, if you lose this round, you are in dire straits. Multiple members of yours sitting on 300, 600, and 400 credits apiece. You will not have a second chance after, you know, you have one more second chance, I guess. That's a good kill. Big Show grabs the first kill. For a second, walks right by through the smoke, and is gonna get the second.
Deploying drone.
Big Show looking for the information before wanting to be out with them. And in fact, Swindle with another frag, so it's a 2-man advantage here for the attackers as they have positioned themselves in prime spots to take this round. But remember what happened before. Swindle sure does and says absolutely not. We're not having a repeat of that one, taking control of the Garden. Nightmare responding with the 1, but gets spammed through the smoke in return. That dark cover not enough to stop the bullets flying past his face. As it's 3-on-1, and that sonar can give it all away. Mandark not missing the shot, so it was a long, hard-fought battle. And you ask how they're feeling. I mean, Spain without the S. Oh.
In the 21st hour, they're like, all right, we clutch it back up, ladies and gentlemen. But now they have it, and this is the problem that comes about it. Yes, you won run. Now do that probably 2 more times and you're home free. Literally 2 more times and you win the series. But still, this is full buy after full buy now. You don't have any options, right? You got to do that 1 more time. Another operator on Hellboy and a couple of the long ranges. So good luck, and they're hoping. They're hoping for the best here.
Well, and a note here, Hellboy as well as Josh, they both have ultimates. Big value ones at that. The lockdown for Hellboy. We've seen how effective it can be, basically winning rounds off the back of that multiple times in this game, as well as those daggers can be so effective. So keep your eye on those as we move forward. It's looking like it might be an A hit, at least initially, but everybody else moving back for the attackers. So it's slow but steady as we hit the 1 minute mark in this round.
They don't want to take any chances, saying, all right, the rushes tend to get us in trouble. But looks like waiting as well. Keeps it out, but that's going to be the operator taking out Mandark. Finally gets some revenge. 1-for-1. Second as they meet in the site, and Zarek quickly calls for that plant. A well-timed clear means that the attackers have the advantage.
Oh man, Zarek, the linchpin of this round with that frag. If he goes down, this looks very different. Now it's 2-on-4, and Mandark getting aggressive with this operator makes things all the more difficult. In fact, Swindle with the flank needs to make this happen quickly, but Mandark not missing the close range shot. And Zarek trades out with Bake Show for a 2 frag, as it is match point for Johnson and Wales, and they got 2 of them coming right up.
That was putting the barrel of the op in their chest, just straight up rounded the corner into that face. That hurts a lot, but we're seeing the buys come out here. And Josh R, for what could be potentially the last round, looks like he's kicking it with a pistol. No, okay, he did swap. Man, he scared me there for a second. I was like, where does credits go? Where does money go?
Bladestorm 2, to be fair.
Yeah. Decided that, hey, you know, Bladestorm is enough, but might need a little backup in case I go a little too ham.
It's a long-range duel. That, you know, listen, the triple burst with that Bulldog, very strong, but Zarek is winning that opening frag. Triple R, a strong player for this defense, going down early. Not ideal, but Hellboy responding in kind, very quickly.
It's crazy to see how this game has kind of evolved over time. You know, the studying of your opponent and finally implementation of catching them off. And it's culminating here, just aggressive, defensive, and knowing where your opponents will possibly go. And Zarek seems to have timed it out. This man gives a whole new meaning to the word lurker, finding the opportunities to get those sneaky kills on the back end. Fate looking like he wants to try and give an opportunity to his team as well.
Ears just for decoration, can't hear a single thing to the execution, but that is going to be the defensive Killjoy ultimate coming through the Hunter's Fury in return, and this time it's all found out, nothing cheeky, but oh my goodness, Josh, stepping things up at the witching hour, picks up a triple kill, and it is closing out the round, and I said there's 2 of them to another round, because that is incredible stuff here from the defense. FGCU are not done yet here.
Oh, if that had actually... just that he had time to walk forward, walk past his opponent, look him in the face, and then swap to his gun. That would have been the highlight of the round, but unfortunately it was not. Spared the embarrassment. That is what occurred there, and now, again, almost going to a potential tie. One more round is all that's needed, and just enough to fold by. Fate sitting with just 100 in his pocket, and loses it all. Gets dropped by Hellboy. That op is such a monster to work with. Big Show, though, able to rotate into the map, but without the spike, this feels rough.
Not only that, it's 2-on-4, but now Mandark does pick up the Bladestorm. Tagged for it, though. Seems to know Triple R is sitting here, but I mean, not winning that out at all. Bake Show, though, on the site is able to pick up 1, and so 2-on-3, make it 2-on-2. Bake Show putting on a show right now as Mandark sneaking his way out and around, but Triple R was not going to forget, so it's going to have to be a quad kill. 1-on-2 now. Bake Show for the win.
No noise so far. Gets a little bit, gets 3. This is the moment to clutch. Bake or shake. One or the other. It's gonna fall. It's going to fall here in the 1v1. Both full health too, and armor. He's going to round the corner, gets it, and he gets it, he gets it! The clutch is real! Johnson and Wales pick up the win!
13-11, 13-11. We didn't get a map 3, but that's about as close as you like, Orbital. Every single round down to the wire. Both of these maps, 13-11 Haven, 13-11 Ascent. Absolutely brilliant all the way around. By the way, ending that out, that was the battle of the star players, honestly. Mandark sitting at 29-13, Hellboy 28-15, and Bake Show. I mean, what a clutch. Gets a quad kill, 1 versus 2. Oh, chef's kiss on that one.
That was by far the nuttiest way to end a series. Yes, it was a 2-0, but looking at the scorelines, you would never notice that. I don't think FGCU have any problems going home and saying, hey, it was a close week 1. Let's take it next week. Let's push for that win. Couple things to shore up, of course. The giving of the sites a little bit too free, but still the fight back. That 7-round streak out of nowhere, right off of the back of just 1 or 2 plays. I mean, you gotta hand it to Hellboy though. Stepped up big, and the rest of the squad as well. Triple R, Mountain, every single one of them had some fantastic plays to bump it up. So again, congratulations to Johnson and Wales, but FGCU, I'm excited to see their continued growth throughout the rest of the season.
I mean, I'm just Bake Show, just so incredible. The sophomore out of Johnson and Wales, absolutely brilliant stuff. I just can't get over that clutch. It was just so good. Oh, but we're gonna have to move forward. I have to take a breath, compose myself just for a moment. Oh man, and yeah, just everybody did. I think really, come through at the end. Even Fate, who had maybe a bit of a slow game, I actually think had some really big impactful rounds with the utility. Well placing that utility, just wasn't shooting very well necessarily. But I said it in the mid game. I actually think that's not as big a deal on a role like the Breach, because clearly was having impact elsewhere, even though the fragging wasn't necessarily up to the same standard that the rest of the team was at. So either way, yeah, walking away with this, I think you can definitely feel good about the performances here in game number 1 here at NECC. So with that, Orbital, I mean, I hate to say goodbye after that, because that is, I mean, I'm hype, I'm ready to go. I know we got more Valorant moving forward, but I think you're going to be here with Jim, if I'm not mistaken. Any final thoughts here before we move on to that next game?
Final thoughts is that was fantastic, and I mean, so far today, none of the maps have been a stomp. All of them have been such close matches, back and forth, amazing battles from all these guys, and it shows that they are ready and willing to take it to the next level. And I can't wait to see the rest of the seasons and keep track of these players throughout their journey.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see that. But with that, at the very least, I'm going to be signing off. I know Orbital is going to be back here with you guys here for the next best of 3. But in the meantime, we're going to take a little bit of a pause, a little bit of a break while we set everything up and ready to go. So we'll be right back with you right after this.